Genius Nation, what's going on? It's your man, Dr. Will, and you guys know the deal. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Even if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscription button, the notification button, all the things that make the algorithm go pop. So I'm here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona, where God vacations. So once again, wherever you are in the world, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming into. Happy Friday to you, end of the week to you. Before we get into it, I want to remind you guys to go out and get our planner, our 2023 planner. If you're serious about accomplishing your goals, go ahead and get this planner. Just go over to drwillspeaks.com/planner. Get this. I'm going to be doing a special training for the first 35 people that invest in the planner. And I'm going to show you how to maximize this planner, how to maximize your goals, how to stay on track throughout the year with your KPIs. Everybody should have KPIs, right? Even as an entrepreneur, that's not just for the big companies, that's for you as well. So I'm going to take you through that and teach you really how to maximize your life. So go to drwillspeaks.com/planner and get yours. All right. So today I want to talk to you guys about gratitude. Gratitude. Once again, gratitude is one of those secret keys to a happy life. One of those secret keys to a happy life. I talk to a lot of people and I read a lot about a lot of people who suffer from depression, and they suffer from imposter syndrome. They suffer from believing that they're not as far as they should be in life. And so they're really challenged with that. So I talk to a lot of people in this space. And one of the keys that I always share with them, you know, when we think about depression, and I understand that, depression is a serious issue. I deal with depression. I think all of us at some level deal with depression. But one of the things that I realized about depression is you have to understand how you fall into depression so you can understand depression. You got to understand how you fall into depression. And one of the things that I realized was the way that I fell into depression myself was always analyzing me, right? And I came up with this idea that really depression is a result, and follow with me, depression really is a result of selfishness. What do you mean by that, Dr. Will, that depression is a result of selfishness? Well, how do we fall into depression? We mainly fall into depression because we feel as though there's some inadequacies in us. It means that you're always focusing on you. I should be further. I don't have this. I wish I had that. The only way you can fall into depress when you're getting pressed down in life, is to be thinking that your life is so awful. It's to be thinking that you're this horrible person. It's to thinking that you're in lack. That's when I talk to people about depression, it's always centered. Well, I wish I just, if only. See, it's all centered around them. That's why I say it's the root. The root is selfishness. The root is selfishness. So how do we pop out of that? How do we pop out of that? Well, gratitude is the key. My grandmother used to tell me, and we didn't link it to depression, but this is what she used to tell me. Count your many blessings and name them one by one. count your many blessings and name them one by one. And my grandmother used to tell me, she says, Will, if you would just start at the top of your head and you will start showing gratitude. You know, I don't know if you guys have grandmothers old enough who used to say things like, God, I just want to thank you for being in my right mind. Any of you, give me some emojis if you have a grandmother or you had someone older in your life that used to see. There you go, Dr. David, and see what the Lord has done. See, right? Because it's depression and not feeling good. It's all about how you see. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective, right? And so she would say, Will, if you start at the top of your head, start at the top of your head and just start thanking God. God, I thank you for being in my right mind. I thank you for my ears that I'm able to hear. I thank you for my eyes that I'm able to see. I thank you for my nose that I'm able to smell. I thank you for my tongue that I'm able to taste. I thank you for my teeth that I'm able to bite. I thank you for my neck that I'm able to turn. I thank you for my shoulders that I'm able to lift. I thank you for my heart, that my heart beats correctly. I thank you for my arms, that I can stretch out my arms. I thank you for my hands and my fingers, that I'm able to write, that I'm able to pick up stuff, that I'm able to wave, that I'm able to shake my hand. She told me, if you start and you just start going down, she would tell me by time you got down to your feet, you would be so overwhelmed. You would be so overwhelmed at the goodness that God has bestowed upon you. You can't help but be grateful. You can't help but be grateful. See, my grandmother, she didn't have all the luxuries in life. She didn't have all the fancy things in life. I don't think my grandmother ever had a brand new car. I don't think my grandmother ever had a full wardrobe or extensive shoes, or as I remember, I don't never think my grandmother even went on vacation. But my grandmother was one of the most centered, happy, blessed people that I've ever met. And she would just sit in that corner and we would be laughing at grandma talking to herself, but she would just be sitting and my grandma would sit back and twiddle her thumbs and just, God, I thank you. God, I thank you. God, I thank you. And she was showing such a sense of gratitude. And now that I've gotten older, I understand exactly what she was talking about, because when you understand, everybody that's listening to me right now, I promise you that you are doing better. I don't care what situation you're in right now. You are doing better. You're doing better than 98% of the people in the world. Let me say that again. If you right now are listening to me, you are doing 98% better than most of the people in the world. Once again, it's all about perspective, right? It's all about perspective. And the reason why we're having such an influx of people dealing with depression, it's almost weekly that I hear some actor, some star, some has committed suicide, right? Why? Because it's about perspective. We're living in this world where right now we're saturated. Like these phones right now, they have us saturated. Think about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, Dr. Sean, I didn't know what you were doing in Atlanta. Dr. Walker, I didn't know what you were doing in Florida. I couldn't see. So all I had to do was just look at my life and be appreciative of my life, right? But it's the moment I started seeing what everybody else was doing, what everybody else had. Now I'm comparing myself. Oh man, Dr. Sean's doing better than me. Dr. Walker's doing better than me. Man, what did I done? What have I done with my life? We're inundated with seeing. 20 years ago, you didn't know what the stars were doing. You didn't know you understand what I mean? You didn't see, right? I couldn't see Dr. Crystal in Fort Wayne. I didn't know what she was doing when she posted about her big, beautiful house and how God has blessed her. See, it was just like, I would talk to her on the phone and she was like, oh, God is good. It's one thing hearing about something, but it's another thing seeing it, right? So now with social media, we get to see it. Oh my God, somebody just you didn't know when somebody was getting a brand new car. Remember? I remember growing up, that was a big deal. Like to see somebody on our street. Oh, look, Miss Kennedy got a brand new car. But it wasn't internet. I didn't know about every single individual in my life. And so all of us get overwhelmed, right? That's all I'm saying. We get overwhelmed. And what happens in life is whenever you think about what somebody else is doing or think about somebody, what they have, it's like a mirror. It makes you look back at you. And we got to get careful. I have to challenge myself every single day. I'm on social media and this is a part of my business. But here's the deal. I got to be careful because I can look at what Dr. Christo is doing and get off track. She could be doing something I wasn't even thinking about doing, but I see her doing it. Now Crystal's doing a live event. I got to do a live event. Oh, Dr. Walker's writing a book. I got to go write a book. Oh, Dr. Leroy, he just met up with, P. Diddy. I got to meet with P. Diddy. Oh, she just took a picture with such and such. Oh, I got to take a picture with such and such, right? We get overwhelmed. We get overwhelmed. And so now we're not even thankful. We're not even thankful. I'll tell you something serious. I woke up and my son, he went to go take a shower and I needed to go take a shower. Well, number one, he has his own bathroom. Number two, I have my own bathroom. Him taking a shower using the hot water wasn't going to impact me taking a shower and using hot water. I remember growing up in a house, man, if the hot water was on in the kitchen, you couldn't take a hot shower. If the hot shower was on, you couldn't go to the sink and get hot water. I remember if somebody was taking a shower, you couldn't go use the bathroom because if you flushed the bathroom, it would make the water scorching hot. I don't know what was going on, but just those simple things like that. Just those simple things like that. See, I remember when we didn't have hot water and we would have to go boil hot water to go take a bath. I remember. And so where I am right now, and if most of you will realize, yes, there's some other things that you want in life. Yes, there's some other things that you desire in life. But you're listening to me right now. I dare to say that all of your needs are met. You don't need another pair of shoes. You don't need another outfit. You're eating every day. See, if we could just start showing gratitude for where we are right now, if we could just show gratitude for where we are right now, I'm telling you, you'll be so much more happy. You'll be so much more happy where you are right now. I know. I want you to be aspirational. I want you to go to Dubai. I want you to go to all these places that you want to go to. But something else, my grandmother used to tell me, when I look how far the Lord has brought me, man, you got to start showing gratitude. I dare to say, those of you that are listening to me, and it's all about perspective. See, if you're listening to me right now, that means, man, you have access to Wi-Fi. That means you have some type of laptop, some type of iPad, some type of phone, some type of device that you're listening to me on right now. Man, we're blessed. We're living in literally the best time ever to live on this planet. We're living in it right now. I lived in St. Martin for 2 years, and I would go to the restaurant and Halana, look at Halana. Halana's over in Rwanda. I mean, come on. 20, 30 years ago, could you imagine that you would be living, and this is like your third, fourth country living outside the America. But here's the thing. I was living in St. Martin, and I would go to I would go to the resorts and go have breakfast and lunch and things like that. And, just think about the most beautiful beaches ever. And I would see people come in, I would see couples come in and they would be unhappy. And now, at these resorts, they've paid to be at the resort. They paid a plane ticket to fly over. They're in this beautiful place. They're on this beautiful island. And they would be arguing with each other. And I would say to myself, my God, if you can't be happy here on the beach with white sand and blue water and lobster and shrimp, and if you can't be happy here, I can only imagine what your life is in Dallas, what your life looks like in Chicago, what your life looks like in Florida, what your life looks like in LA, what your life looks like in Phoenix. I can only imagine. If you can't be happy here, man, with all of this ambiance around you, if you're not happy now, man, I can only imagine. I used to just see people. I would just see people. I would talk to and here's the thing, guys, and I'll let you go. Even for the people that lived in St. Martin, one of the questions I would always ask them, St. Martin is this beautiful island in the Caribbean. It has 37 beaches, 37 beaches. It's split, it's divided. It has a French side and a Dutch side. So literally you can cross over to the French side. They're all talking French. The money is euro. I mean, it's literally two different countries on one island. Literally, it's beautiful. It's magnificent. Go if you ever get an opportunity. But here's my point. 37 beaches. But because perspective again, they would have 5 million people visit the island a year. But to them, it wasn't an island. It was just home to them. So they couldn't appreciate the ambiance. They didn't appreciate the 37 beaches. I would ask people, man, how many of the beaches have you went to? Maybe one or two. They took it for granted. 37 beaches, whatever. But they would have 5 million people that would come through cruises, that would fly over and vacation, that would stay on the island for a month, would come from Canada, come from Europe, and stay on the island for a month because it was so beautiful. But the people who lived there, it's St. Martin. They would rather talk about the politics. They would rather talk about this and that versus enjoying this beautiful landscape that God had created. And I always would remind them, I took a challenge and I went to 37 of the beaches. I went to all of them. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to every single beach on this island. And so now when I talk to many of them, I got a good friend over there. I ask him all the time, how many have you been to yet? Oh man, I'm trying to catch you, Doc. I've been to 15. And so gratitude, guys, that's my message for you. Man, be thankful for what you have. Because I promise you, it's probably a far cry from where you were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Be grateful. It's something that, every morning I write in my journal and I start off with gratitude. I'm thankful for. That's exactly how I start off my journal. I'm thankful for. And I select something every single day that I'm thankful for, guys. So show gratitude. Listen, go out there, have an amazing day. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend plan. Go do something that makes you laugh. Go do something that you enjoy. Surround yourself with family and friends and do something that you haven't done in a while. When's the last time you went to the park? When's the last time you went and bought you an ice cream cone? Just the simple things. It doesn't take, you remember when you was a little kid, how happy you were just running in the, I love watching babies because babies, and you can give them a box, right? And they'll just be occupied and just be so happy with that little box. You can give them, have you ever went and you saw at Christmas, you buy all these toys, and then the baby's just fascinated with the wrapper. And you want them to play with the little doll, and they're just as happy with the little wrapper and playing with the little ribbon on the gift. And you start getting upset because you're mad because they're not playing with the gift. And they're just as happy. They're just as happy as they could be with that rapper, guys. So listen, yes, I know you want more in life. Yes, I know you want to experience more. But my message to you is appreciate right where you are today. On your journey to your next best, appreciate your best now. All right, guys, I'll see you back here in the nation on Monday morning. Go out there and dominate today, guys. I'll talk to you later.